Welcome to the very first edition of Town TV. We are here with the Gaffa today for our first home game against Campion. Chris, quick reflection on last season. How do you think it went?
I was pleased, to be fair. I was happy with the majority of it. I think we started slowly, just based on trying to build a squad, to be honest. And I think we finished pretty poorly. I think the middle bit was all right, but like every team in the league last year, we had game every 3 days, so that didn't help.
Yeah.
You get a settled squad. So for the majority of it, I was happy. I think we had a strong middle, and we finished obviously with more points than we have as a club at this level. So a real kind of positive start for our first full season here, I think.
Good stuff. Probably we need another February, an unbeaten month.
Yes, that was good. Yeah, that was, and that was kind of in the middle of when we were playing well, to be honest, and everything just seemed to click. We want to start like that this year, and we want to be looking forward rather than behind us this year. So I think it's important that we get away from this just wanting to be safe, and we look at trying to break into that top half and just be a little bit more consistent.
I think there's been a bit of banter in the past. We're the pub team, we don't play our players, but when we can go probably on a Tuesday night to Yorkshire Amateurs away and shook the league really with a 5-2 win. Yeah,
I mean that was a good night. I think that it didn't shock anyone in our group, with the players. We know we were capable of that last year, but the reaction it got on Twitter and throughout the league, it were great. So that we're looking for more performances like that this year, and again just being a little bit more consistent. And I'm sure we'll finish higher than we did last season.
Quality. So on to this season, a few new faces. We've got Josh Gibson, Robbie Cuppett, Connor Chappell, and then Mikey Faraday.
Yeah, we highlighted last year that we needed a little bit of experience at times. I think we were a little bit naive in certain situations, and I think those four, with the re-additions of Tom Carnell and Rich Mintoff, they'll bring that. They've all played at this level before or higher, and it just gives us a little bit more strength and as for competition for places. And I think on the day, every one of them can be in the starting 11. So it just makes us stronger as a team, really, and makes the club stronger. So
good stuff. I mean, there's a buzz about the place at the moment, but how do you attract players with no budget?
Players attract players. That's a fair. I think that's very true. I think you have. If you've got good players playing for nothing and they're in a good environment and you look after them and you understand them and you're honest with them, I think it just it promotes. I think taking money out of this level, I think people want to win games and they want to enjoy the football and they want to be treated right. And I think that me, Nick and Ginner, Adam, we try and treat people right at this level, and we'll always be honest with people if we don't think it's working out. I've had a couple of tricky conversations this pre-season with people who've been great for us last year that I just don't think will make the grade this year, but we've looked at each other in the eye, we've shook hands, and then we've moved on. And I think people at this level prefer that honesty. And if you make it about the money, then they're going to leave for the money. So yeah. if we did have a budget, say £15 a man, then you attract the player that needs £15 a man, they're going to leave for 20.
Yeah.
So there's a very fine line. So,
yeah.
And the club's moving forward. And you compare it to any other club in the league with our junior setup, with our ladies team. We're a really, really big club in this area, and it's just kind of promoting that and improving players as well. I think that's quite important. That's what we try and do as a team. So
definitely. So pre-season, anyone stood out?
It's difficult, isn't it? Pre-season, to be honest, the first 2 weeks you're buzzing, it's great, and you can't wait to you're happy you're back, and then by fourth or fifth week you just can't wait for the season to start. You're trying to give everyone an hour in game, so on 30 minutes you're making 4 changes just for everyone to get a base of fitness. But Teversol and the Retford games, we kind of slimmed it down a little bit, wanted to look at what we wanted to look at. I was really impressed with Danny Wood in terms of how he's come back. He looks fit. He played an hour at Retford Tuesday night, it was great. Sam Bebbington's been great. He's played in 3 or 4 positions for me this pre-season, and as a group, the new players that have come in have settled. So I think we've been. There's been positives and there's been things to work on. But we're ready now. We're ready for today.
So last season we were very much a 4-4-2. Can we see a different change at times this season?
I think last year with the kind of personnel that we had, we were restricted because it was sometimes, especially at the start of the year, it was a bit of damage limitation and just trying to manage the game really. We've always thought that we need 2 systems, so we're going to be working with predominantly 2, and the majority of teams play with 3 in the middle at at our level. So, but I'm a big fan of 4-4-2, and I think if you've got intelligent wide players, they can narrow the pitch off, as it were.
Yeah.
So, but I like to get the ball out wide, and I like for them to go and commit people. So, there'll be a couple, but not too many.
Good stuff. First 25 goals last season. Any targets from this season?
I'm just delighted these days.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm just delighted. Yeah, I just keep just kind of put form in front of him when he's signing, aren't you? No, Mark's been tremendous. I think Mark's he's enjoying his football with us. He before he came to us, he was bitten and batting. He couldn't really settle. He's settled here. He's a big part of what we're trying to do. I would settle for him being here, getting another 25 goals this year. He's had offers over the summer, and when I say offers, he's had people who've come in and offered him a lot of money personally, which he's turned down. And it's testament to the club really, and how he feels about the place. So, I'm sure he'll have another successful season, Mark, and he's been great through pre-season. So
great stuff. Finally, so we did some questions from Facebook and Instagram. So Charlie Townsend from our under-14 says, "Where will Town finish in the league this season?"
Ooh, like we say, I think it's steady progression. I think to have a really, really, really good season would be to qualify for the FA Cup. I think if we can do that, that'd be beyond all our expectations. I think if we can improve and hopefully break into the top half, and then just set a kind of base and change expectation. Really, I think once you break into that top 10, top 12, I think you do start looking at progressing rather than looking behind you and fearing. Getting to 35 points, making yourself safe, and we've just got to change that mindset this year. And I think these players that we've got have definitely bought into that. So brilliant.
And one more on Instagram, we had Charlie Tidmarsh from under 13 says, "What do you think the future holds for Dronfield Town?"
I think it's a cliche, but I think it's bright. I mean, from a club point of view, it's great. I mean, we're all aware we've got kids, boys and girls from 7 through to adults, and the new under 19s that have come in. Majority of them were kind of 16, 17 last year. They look 16, 17, so they did look young. They've come through kind of a tough time in the reserves, but they've got through the back end of it. In this pre-season, they've trained with us, and they've looked like 18, 19-year-olds, so they're getting stronger, which is brilliant for us. And I think it's just that progression, because we mentioned money earlier, which we can't compete with people with, so we won't compete with them. But what other clubs in our kind of league haven't got is the infrastructure, the junior team, the amount of footballers that in the future we can hopefully get on this pitch. So I think it's really bright. I think the adults and the juniors are closer than they ever have been, and I think it's really looking good to kind of carry it forward and develop this team on the pitch, but hopefully bring some more young players through.
Definitely. So finally, Campion today.
Yeah,
going to be a tough game.
Very tough. Yeah, you don't know, do you? The first game of the season, you want it to matter, but then you don't want it to matter too much, because it's a fine line. Everyone will be up for it. We don't know what they're going to be like. They don't know what we're going to be like. They'll probably look at it, if we're honest, and think it's a good start for them. They beat us at their place late on last year with the last kick of the game. We beat them on here, but they'll probably be looking at this and thinking they could have had harder starts. We're looking at it as if to say, well, it's a good kind of benchmark to see where we are to start with. We've got a couple of niggles that we're 50-50 on, but it'll be a good game. And if we can match their work rate, and we can stick to our plan, I'm sure we'll give them a game, and we'll hopefully come away with something.
Brilliant, Chris. Thank you very much.
No
Good luck
worries.
today.
Thanks, mate.
Cheers, pal.
Cheers, buddy.